Good morning. I hear you behind me. How's everybody doing in front of me? How you guys doing on the lawn? Yeah, everybody good in the back? Can you hear me in the back? Yeah? All right, thank you. All right, a little humid. So pace yourself. You might be losing more fluid than normal in a humid day. So if you need to take a break and take a sip, feel free to do that. Is there anybody new today? Feeling brand new today? Liz. I can't wait to squeeze you. I know, but it's going to mess me up because I'm already thinking class. That's true. Mwah. She's been gone for like a month. My life isn't normal when she's not around for a month. That's the truth. You know, when somebody is in your life and you're just like, we talk, but not seeing, not feeling the presence, you know? All right. So as you come in and settle, just find your place. We're going to get up on our feet. So we will begin on our feet toward the back of the mat today. Go ahead and open up your heels out into the corners. I like that beginning stance. It's kind of broad and it's stable, so you feel grounded. Now I want you to soften your knees so you can feel a little bit of your weight kind of like sinking into the legs and get a little heavy in the heels, right? So we're not like standing up or trying to lift ourselves up. We'll get to that. But for right now, I want you to ground down. Like soften the knees and feel a little bit of the heavy in the feet, in the heels. And then start to push your feet down and out so the legs come a little more alive. And then take your arms and imagine you can make two fists and you are pushing your fists into a door frame, right? So the feet are pushing out and the arms are pushing out, and all of a sudden your body feels a whole lot different. Feels a little bit more active and alive. Soften those knees a little more. It's not quite a squat, but it's not standing upright either. Yeah, that's it. So if you bend those knees, you'll get more of the hamstrings to do some of the work. So I want you to really feel the front of the legs and the back of the legs working and just building a little heat. Now, we're pushing out with the arms. And I want you to start to keep that action of out in the legs, but bring the arms in front of you. Imagine I gave you a ball to hold and I asked you to squeeze in on the ball. So the legs are now pushing out and the arms are pushing in. So this is kind of how yoga works. You have to do multiple things in your body at once and you have to do them equally, right? We have to actually create union. That's what yoga is about. Uniting the actions, merging them into one. So it shouldn't feel like your legs are working harder than your arms, and it shouldn't feel like your arms are working harder than your legs. Can you hold your head up? Who's starting to get a little agitated? Yeah. Relax your shoulders, right? No one said anything about your traps or your shoulders. That's where we have our tension. Let's relax that. We can still work hard and be present and be soft in the jawline, soft in the shoulders. Now, pull up a little in the pelvic floor. Feel the lower belly draw in. Ooh, that's good. We've just integrated the core. That's what we're going to be doing in all of the poses. So we may have different things to do in our feet, different things to do with our arms, and this upward pulling in energy in the core, in the center. So lift a little more from that pelvic floor, and then use that upward energy to come out of the pose. So straighten your legs, relax your arms, and just stand. There we go. Now breathe. Just breathe. I suggest breathing in the nose and out of the nose, and breathing as deeply and thoroughly as you can, and remembering that most of your lung tissue is on the back of the body, so don't waste your energy trying to fill your chest. Actually let your ribs expand and let your lungs expand in the back. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Let's hook our thumbs together, spread the fingers wide, take a stretch over to the right side. So the feet are still pushing a little bit down and out. You can feel the tension on the thumbs as the fingers spread. And you're pulling up and in the inside, in the midline of the body. Let's tip our ears back enough to look up at our fingers. Now the spine feels long. The feet still feel grounded. On your next inhale, come to center. Let's switch over to the other side. So simple. We have not done anything contortionist. We haven't done anything crazy. I think anyone of any ability, pretty much, I don't want to assume all, but an able-bodied person could reach their arms up and stretch a little to the side, right? And then inhale, come back to center, and release your arms down. So even here, we can already feel the effects of the yoga. Do you feel a little tingling? Do you feel a little, what I call vitality or aliveness in your body, right? We didn't do anything crazy. Imagine if you got grounded and present, you started breathing deeply, and you did a little bit of movement in the morning. Like what we just did. Like a little heat, a little stretch, some breathing and some presence, and then you go with your day. It might be enough. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen, look forward. And then walk it out into plank pose. Just walk into a push-up position. So the push-up is hands under shoulders. The toes are bent behind you. Your feet can stay wide at the back of the mat. Make your arms feel strong. Like push the mat away from you. And then squeeze your hands together, just like you were doing when you had the ball in your hand. And then imagine your feet could spread the mat apart behind you. Yeah, we're going to keep that level of activation. We're going to keep that level of mindfulness. And then we're going to lower ourselves down onto the belly. Keep your hands where they are. Just bend the elbows and lay yourself down as gently as you can. Inhale into Cobra Pose. It's your first real back bend. We did lateral extensions, but we did not do the back bend, so be gentle. The spine is tricky. And the spine, when it feels good, makes your whole body feel good. When it doesn't feel good, it can wreak havoc on your whole self, right? So be gentle with your spine. Press a little bit into the hip bones. Lift your heart, lift your chest, widen the collarbones. And then exhale, release it, let it down. Let's tuck our toes and go back to your first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. It's like an upside down V. Yep, you just lift your hips high. We give a little push through the hands, and they still might feel like they're squeezing in a little bit so that they stay active in the chest and the armpits. There is sort of a lift in the armpits here. And the legs straighten as best as you can. And then we push back through the legs and down through the heels. It is not the goal to get your heels to the ground. It is the goal to get the pose to feel alive and balanced. Let's take one more breath here. And then look at your hands. Let's begin walking our feet to the top of the mat. When they get to the top of the mat, they come together. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale and fold. With a flat back, rise all the way up. Lift your head and chest, start to reach your arms. Head up, all the way up. Reach your arms up, and then hands come to the heart. Good. Inhale again, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. You guys are doing great. Mindful movements. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the same exhalation. So we step back and we take it down onto the belly. Inhale for Cobra Pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right. If at any moment in the practice you can remind yourself about feet pushing apart, hands kind of squeezing in, and that lift in the pelvic floor, that sort of sense of wholeness in the body, I think you're going to feel stronger and more graceful. Let's take one more breath here. As you exhale, look forward. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Feet come together. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up. And then exhale, fold. With a flat back, we rise. That whole sequence is called Surya Namaskar A. Let's bring hands to the heart. That's our sun salutation. One more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Inhale. Go to plank, step back, and lower. It's the same exhalation. All the way down, we empty the lungs. One breath in Cobra. And then exhale right back to downward facing dog. So we're going to do that often throughout the practice in between our sequences. It helps us kind of clear the slate and come back to something familiar, something that we started with. Go ahead, take one more breath. Bring some vitality and aliveness to this pose. Lift your hips, sink your heels, and then look forward. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. Yeah, lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Flat back, we rise. Lift the head, lift the chest. You've got it. Reach the arms up, and then bring the hands right to the heart. Good. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees. We're going to add up another level. Yeah, but we should be ready. That little thing we did at the beginning made the little juice in the legs so they're not just completely cold. Make sure we're not squeezing the knees together. Put some weight on the pinky toe sides of the feet. Legs feel really strong here. Footprints are really purposeful. Take one more breath. And then just forward fold. Dive right in. Head down. Pause there for a moment. Let the legs release. Feel the back of the knees open up. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Inhale for Cobra Pose. And then exhale right back to downward facing dog. Right foot is going to step forward to the hands. Just step right up. And test, test, test. There I am. Rise into high crescent lunge. Do we need a battery maybe? No? All right, I'm going to wear it in the front. Maybe it'll work better. So in high crescent lunge, you're grounding the feet. They still kind of feel like they're pushing out. Remember that feeling of pushing down and out? And the hands might still be squeezing that ball. I want you to hold that ball firmly in your hands and then fold halfway. Just bring the chest down. The body is parallel to the ground. Now with all that body weight going forward, you've got to use the back leg, right? This practice is about seeking the balance. Not overworking or underworking, but actually bringing a new level of consciousness and awareness into everything you do. If we can do it on the mat, we actually start doing it in life. Take a deep breath. Let's rise back up. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to the floor and hold. We're going to keep that left hand on the mat and twist open to the right side. I'm going to stay here. All right. So our feet are still grounded. If you root down a little bit better into that left hand, you might access more space to open up the right chest. Yep, take one more breath here. And then eyes go down, hand comes down. Please step back into down dog. Skip all of the other goodies in between and just let the head go. Let's all take a clearing breath. One big inhale. Open your mouth and say, ah, on the exhale. Yeah. So now we're ready for that high crescent lunge on the other side. It's so simple. The left foot steps up and you rise up. Ground your feet. Let them push down and out. And as the arms rise, squeeze into that ball. And then pull up from the pelvic floor and lift all the way through the central channel of the body. We are energetic beings, and our muscular energy actually really does help dictate the way the body feels in the practice. Your job is to spread the effort out evenly, to not overwork or underwork, but to find a place that feels steady and effortless. Imagine that, steady and effortless. Breathing through the nose, the nervous system is calm. Let's fold halfway, see what happens. Again, just seeking the balance. As you reach forward, the back leg becomes a little bit more engaged. The back knee lifts. You might even feel a little squeeze on the outer hips. That might help. And the left hip could pull back, the right hip can pull forward. Let's take one more breath here, and then slowly rise. Arms come up. As you exhale, your hands will go all the way to the ground. We're going to keep that right hand on the mat and twist open to the left side. The feet kind of still feel like they're pushing out, but there's this drawing in at the hips. This really beautiful desire to like turn from the waistline and create this wrapping feeling with the muscles around the spine, around the rib cage, and we turn that left chest open. Take one more breath, and then eyes down, hands down, one big step back. Just find your way to down dog. If you're in the sun, you're gonna be sweaty. It's just the way it goes, right? I imagine if you're in the shade, you might even be sweating. Yeah? Anybody? Yeah, a little bit of heat coming. All right. Let's look forward and walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Feet come together. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. We're going to bend the knees now for chair pose. Sit back a little bit, reach the arms high, try to lift and widen your chest. See if you can feel your feet pushing down and out and your hands squeezing on that ball. Unless you're trying to block your sun, then of course you don't have to squeeze the ball. I see you. Let's push through the feet, come all the way up. This time take a little back bend from standing. It's a lift of the rib cage and a drawing slightly down in the tailbone, so there's no compression in the lumbar spine. It's not so much a big back bend as it is like a spine lengthener. Reach up. And then exhale, bring your hands right to the heart. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation, just like we did at the beginning, that sun salutation. Inhaling into cobra, and then exhale back to down dog. The pattern starts to get imprinted. Now the right foot steps up, stay on your left toes. One inhale, rise into high crescent. And then exhale, hands down. Step to plank this time and lower, nice and slow. Inhale for cobra. I like the rhythm that you're getting. Exhale, down dog. Now the left side. We step the left foot forward and stay on the right toes. Just trying to find a rhythm with the breath and the movement. Exhale, hands come down. Step to plank. As you exhale, lower to the belly. Take a deep breath into cobra or upward facing dog. I see lots of variations. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Breathe. Do your best to keep that in the shape of an upside down V. So the hips are rising, the hands and feet are grounded. Let's take one more breath. And then look at the hands. We'll walk our feet right up to the top of the mat and bring the feet together. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. Bend your knees. Chair pose. The arms sweep. Good. Push into the feet. Come all the way up. Take that little back bend. And then hands come to heart center. One more round. Inhale. Chair pose. Let's bend the knees. Reach the arms. We're going to put it all together. Exhale, forward fold. Lifting and lengthening, inhale. And then plank and lower on the exhale. So we step back and take it down. The elbows bend. Inhale when you do the back bend. Exhale as you go to down dog. And then we come to warrior. So right foot steps up. This time the left heel turns flat. I want to give you 3 breaths here because this one takes a little bit of nuance, right? We want to still feel the feet pushing down and out, but as you ground into the feet, I want you to feel that feeling of legs drawing in and maybe the left side of your body pulls a little bit forward. Yep, the chest plate comes forward. Now, can you lift out of the ribs, lift a little higher, reach to your fingers, tip your ears back and look up. Here's your last breath. Give me the fullest expression. Maybe bend the front knee a little. And then exhale, let's flow. Hands go down. Step it back lightly, lower nice and slow. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale, down dog. Here we go. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in. Rise facing forward. Root down into the feet. See if you can integrate all of those feelings, right? The feet pushing down and out, the hands squeezing on the ball, and that lift up through the midline. Can you guys feel that? Sometimes I wonder if my language lands, but it looks like you're integrating. It looks like you're present in your body. Hello. All right, so find that breath. Let's give ourselves the deepest, fullest expression. And then when you're ready, you come right back out. Hands come down. Step back lightly, lower slowly. Inhale for Cobra. Exhale, down dog, and catch your breath. Start to refine the breath in and out of your nose. Start to feel the lung expansion and the rib expansion. Look for some movement on the back side of the body. All right. The right foot's going to step forward and the left foot's going to turn flat. Warrior one, just like we did. And we're going to add a little bit on here. Let's stay tall in the spine. Keep the head up, but drop your arms down and behind you. We're going to clasp the hands together behind the back and start folding halfway. So the back foot is flat. Make sure that back heel is on the ground. And we call it humble warrior. So go ahead and let your head bow humbly. You might even look towards your back foot. Make sure the arch on the back foot is lifted. Feet are still pushing down and out. The hips are kind of squeezing in. The pelvic floor is lifted. Now, I want to make sure you didn't fold to the inside of that leg. I want you to square yourself. So when you come up, it's kind of safe for the lower back, right? So we press down and we rise up. Take your time. Good. Bring the arms back up. How are your legs doing? Can you stay for just a couple more breaths? You guys okay? Now, keep reaching up with your arms. Keep feeling that ball in your hands. Ground down and out into your feet, and then fold halfway. Keep that back foot grounded. Keep squaring those hips. I want you to feel the right one pulling back and the left one pulling forward, and the core super strong. There's a lift in the pelvic floor. There's even a drawing in of the front ribs. That's it. Take one more breath. Lift your biceps a little higher than your ears. And then with everything you've got, come back up. Let's flow it out. Hands down. Step back lightly, lower, nice and slow. It should feel good to move and breathe. Cobra on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Woo! Yeah, you can let out a little sound. Some of you did that with me. Let me hear you. Woo! Ooh, I don't know what I did to the speaker. It's that little voice of mine. Left foot steps up, right foot turns flat. Warrior one. We explored a little bit more deeply, just like we did on the right. Establishing the foundation of the pose, the basic movements, the integrations, everything that we've been doing since the beginning of practice. Call it in right now for yourself. I think one of the mistakes we make in yoga is that we become very reliant on the teacher to give us cues, instead of really integrating the information and remembering the experience in our own bodies. So in this moment, see what you remember. Work from the feet, the legs, the hips. Work on lengthening up, activating the arms. We'll keep the spine tall and the head up, but take the arms down and behind you. This time, interlace with the other index finger in front. Do the weird one. And then come into your humble warrior. Sometimes we have a tendency to let the shoulder come to the inside of the knee. I'm going to ask you to create a little bit of discipline here. Keep the left shoulder on top of the left knee. So come up a little bit for me and keep your hips square. Yeah, this one's not about how deep we go. It's actually about having a little bit of discipline. Holding requires strength. We exploit our flexibility and we fall in. We actually diminish the amount of strength. So the feet push down and out, the legs pull in, the pelvic floor is lifted, the head drops low. Then we begin lifting the head and inhale as we rise. Let the arms come all the way up. Reestablish your warrior pose. And then again, fold halfway with the arms reaching forward. Find the integrations. Left hip back, right hip forward. The feet are so valuable here. If we really use all of our toes. That's it. Again, all that energy reaching forward, you've got to use the back leg. This is super strong for the core. I want your front and back body really active. And we're going to rise on an inhale. You've got this. Come on up. And then we flow it out. Hands come down. Step back lightly, lower slowly. Discharge some of that energy. Inhale for Cobra. Exhale, down dog, make a sound. Yeah, I think sometimes we're afraid of making sounds. Nobody wants to hear our sounds. I do. I ask you to make sounds. I would actually love it if you wanted to sing while you did yoga, as long as you kept breathing. So let's take a deep breath in. Everybody let out a big old ah. Come on. It's Saturday morning. You're working hard and sweating. Make a sound. Inhale for me and let me hear you. Thank you. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply as you exhale. Good. Bend the knees, chair pose. Now nice and simple. Take the pose up on your toes. Lift your heels. Just pay a little homage to all 10 toes, especially the baby toes. Right? Sometimes we don't even use them. We shove them in shoes and we go. Right now, all of your toes matter. Yes? Yeah. Thank them. We're going to stay on the toes and come all the way to standing. Yep. See how you can manage those wobbles. Draw in from the pelvic floor. The feet are pushing down and out. The hands are squeezing in on the ball. The pelvic floor is lifted. There you go. Steady. The simple principles apply to everything that we do. Let the heels down. Let the arms down. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Still have not done anything contortionist or crazy. Let's walk the fingers a little bit forward in front of the feet and then lift the right leg behind us. Just feel what that feels like. Balancing on one leg. Now just come up onto your fingertips so you're not really using your hands quite so much. Set the gaze a little bit forward, a little more forward. And then see if you can bring your hands to prayer. Yeah, that was tricky, but you got it. Now come to standing, bring your feet together. When we do the other side, apply your principles. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. So even though that left leg is going to rise, it feels like the legs are kind of pushing down and out, right? They're still active. Flex that back foot like you're standing on it. Lift the left foot behind you. Keep the foot active, not too high. If it's higher than your hips, then your hips are not going to be level and you're probably going to have to struggle with your balance. Lift onto your fingertips so you're not so dependent on the hands. So you can feel the hands kind of squeeze in like there's a ball there, and then pull in the pelvic floor, pull in the belly. Let's bring the hands together in prayer. Amazing. Strong right leg. Let's come to standing. Feet together. So good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your in-breath. Let's go to plank and lower, just like we know. Take it to the belly, and then take a deep breath as you do that sweet little back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Lift your right leg up behind you. And then just listen carefully. We're going to step the right foot to the outside of the left ankle. So cross your legs behind you. Nope, cross your legs behind you. Yep, right foot goes outside the left ankle, and then start pressing back through both heels. I like it. Let's walk our hands back to our feet. This is always the very interesting forward fold. The feet are all kind of in the wrong place, and your brain needs a moment to get over it. Yeah, but just be there for a moment. See if you can square your hips. Can you ground the feet, pull in the belly? Yep, you got it. Let the head down. Now, nice and simple. Inhale, look forward. Walk it out into down dog, and then lift that right leg all the way up, and then step it through into high crescent lunge. Right foot to the top of the mat. Good. Arms come up overhead. Now we know the high crescent lunge. We know how to lean forward. Let's bring our hands together in prayer, and then root down into that right foot and float the left leg behind us. Doing great. Now we're going to come to standing with left knee to belly. Just stand really tall, pull the knee in. Keep everything that you've got here. Feel the integrations, and then start really bending the right knee. So you're sitting a little bit low. It feels like one leg is bending and you're going down and the other knee is coming up. Now I want you to cross, your left over your right. Tap your toe to the floor. Good, the knees are together. And then we're going to sit down even lower, like chair pose. Start to feel the bottom leg push up and the top leg push down. Feel the integration, and then sweep your arms behind you. Here we are again, folding halfway. Working on squaring the hips, pulling in the pelvic floor. Amazing. Now, keep low in your seat, but sweep the arms all the way up over your head, and then open them like a T. We're going to take left arm under right and create eagle arms. Try to sit low. Bottom arm pushes up, top arm pushes down. Hands move away from the face. Let's fold one more time. Fold halfway. Elbows in front of the knees so the back is flat and the spine is long. This one's a little contortionist, but I think it's okay. We took it one step at a time. Rise up slowly. As you stand, keep your arms but release your legs. Say it. Let's take a little back bend here. Lift the elbows, lift the ribs. Gaze to your fingers. When you're ready, you release the arms. Let them come all the way down and then a big circle all the way up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Pause for a moment. Tune into the vitality and the aliveness in your body. Just feel for a second. Crossing our arms and crossing our legs is not that crazy, right? But putting it all together, this takes consciousness over effort. That's what makes this yoga. Take a deep breath, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's go to plank and lower just like we know. Kind of move through that from everything in your body. Let all of the oxygen move, the blood circulate. Find your way back to down dog and breathe. When you're ready, the left leg is going to rise. No big drama here. Just lift it, breathe, stretch, make it feel good. And then we're going to cross it behind the right ankle. Yep. So we step it to the outside and behind. And then we push back a little bit in the heels. Slowly start to walk your hands back. Try to get both feet flat. Stay in that forward fold. Try to appreciate all that it has to offer you. Feel the feet ground down and out. The hands squeeze in a little. A lift in the pelvic floor. A smooth and steady breath. Now on that next inhale, you're just going to look forward. Walk forward into the down dog so you can lift that leg back up. That left leg goes back in the air, and then from there it's super nice to step forward into that high crescent. The arms sweep up over the head and you find the balance. Ground down and out. Squeeze that ball in. Even bring the hands to prayer and press the hands together. So you feel the feet grounding down and out, the hands pressing in, and that pelvic floor midline drawing up and in, and you take it into balance. Left foot grounds, right one floats behind you. You've got it. Just try to merge the energies. Do them with equal measure. Now come to standing, right knee to belly. As the right knee lifts high to the chest, bend the left knee and sit low. We should be able to cross our knees here and just tap that right toe to the floor. Sit a little lower so both feet have a little bit of weight, and then start to fold forward. Feel the integration, bottom leg up, top leg down. Feel them working together. Then sweep the arms behind you. Lift them higher than your own body. Keep lengthening the chest forward. Feels pretty steady. Everything has a purpose. Everything done in equal measure. And we sweep the arms forward, take them up, and then open like a T. Right arm under left. Cross the elbows, the forearms, maybe touch the palms. But again, just work the integration. Bottom arm up, top arm down. And we start to fold again. It's a flat back though, no rounding. Draw the chest out, bring the elbows in front of your knee. Work the legs, the hands, and up the central channel. Now we're going to hold onto the arms, but come on up. You can uncross your legs and say it. Take a little back bend, opening, lifting the chest. Then when we release, we let the arms down. Let them go full circle, full range of motion, all the way back up, and then down by your sides. Pause for a moment. Breathe. Notice how you feel. This is your yoga. This, my friends, this moment, the effervesce after the pose, where all things merge, mind, body, spirit. Now we're going to take a slower flow, like double time. Let the arms come up. Really slow down the breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Just slow down the breath. Take a deep breath as you look forward and lengthen. And then really slow, step back, plank pose. Let's even pause in plank pose. Reconnect with the integration work. Feet apart, hands in. And then bend your elbows and come down nice and easy onto the belly. We'll stay here for a moment. Let's press into the tops of the feet. Spread the toes down into the floor. And then take your hands a little bit wide. Go off the mat and go on your fingertips. Start really lifting the elbows toward the sky. So wider than the mat. I want you really wide out from the shoulders. On your fingertips, with the elbows really rising up toward the sky. Now squeeze the shoulder blades together so the shoulder heads move back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so but a little bit down, not so up in the neck. And then come into a little bit of cobra. Just feel all that space you've got across the chest. Widen it if you can, Carol. I know you don't want to touch the floor. It's okay, it's wet. That's it. Lift a little through the crown of the head. Start to feel how strong your back is. Now, can you keep pressing your toes and pressing your hips, but lift your hands off the ground? Don't use the arms so much. And then straighten the arms behind you and clasp them behind your back. Keep the action in the upper back. Yes. So strong. The feet and the hips are pressing down. Your spine feels really strong, and we're lifting through the crown of the head. Clasp those hands if you can. That's it. Take one more breath, and then keep the back bend, but let the arms come all the way out, and then bring them forward like Superman, Superwoman, superhero. How about that? Superhero. Yes, now start lifting your legs. Lift your legs off the ground. Lift your arms off the ground. Keep those hips pressing down. Don't hold your breath. You've got this. If your back is pinching, open your feet a little wider, but squeeze your hands in a little closer. Take one more breath. You're stronger than you realize. And then really gently let it down. Put your head down, turn it to one side, and breathe. Now lift your head, turn it to the other side, and breathe. And then we'll move our hands under our shoulders if they're not already. Pull the belly in and press back to child's pose. It should feel really good. Draw the tailbone toward the heels. Find the roundness in the back. Try not to stick the booty up in the air. Be gentle with your knees and let your head down. If your head doesn't touch the floor, stack up your hands under your forehead and fill the space. Now we come into tabletop pose. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Reach the right arm forward and the left leg back. Simple but not easy. You've got to feel the push down and out, and you've got to feel that lift up and in. Both legs are still kind of pushing down and out. There should be some flexion on the back foot. Yeah, like flex it like you're standing on it and feel like it's pushing down and out. Imagine your hands were still squeezing the ball, even though one's down and one's up. They both kind of integrate in, so the chest activates. Don't let your ribs fall out or your belly button. Pull them in. And then lengthen even more. Yes. All right, keep your leg in the air. Put your hand down. Let's go ahead and pull that left knee into the belly. Give it a little squeeze. Then make sure the weight is even in both hands and lift that left knee out to the left. Just pick it up like a dog at the hydrant. Obviously, you all know what that looks like. Yep. Keep the weight even in your hands. See if you can straighten that left leg all the way out to the side. Out to the side. Yep. Then you can take a look at it. Go ahead and put it down right there on the side. Walk your hands back toward your right knee and then come up and stand tall. Gate pose. Inhale, both arms reach. Let's open the arms out like a T. Take a really yummy stretch over to your left side. Left arm down, right arm up. Oh, feels so good. So you're still facing forward. One arm is up, one arm is down, and that leg out to the side is straight. The foot is pretty grounded. Your toes are forward. That's it. How's that feel? Pretty good, right? Take the arms back out like a T. Now, when you're ready, we're going to take that right hand all the way out to the floor. Get some weight onto the right fingers, lift the left arm up, and then float your left leg. Find that steadiness. Integrate. And if you want to, left palm, left turns, and then left bicep over the ear. Again, simple but not easy. Try not to tuck the chin to the chest. Keep the crown of your head in line with your tailbone. You got it. And then you can put that left foot down, lift the right arm up, and return to center. Good. Take a deep breath. Both arms reach. Place both hands on the floor in front of you. We're going to lift the left leg and bend the knee. Lift it, bend it, pull it back into place, and release. Yeah. Not so complicated. Go ahead and take 3 rounds of cat-cow. So we arch the back and we round the back, right? We move with the breath. Tailbone goes up at the same time the head goes up, and then the chin tucks as the tailbone tucks. And we do it with the breath. Yep. And then find that tabletop nice and steady. Left arm forward, right leg back. So we get a second try. It's got to be opposite hand and leg. Left arm, right leg. Left arm, right leg. We got it. And then remember all of the things. Feet down and out, hands kind of in, midline strength. Lifting and lengthening, pushing down, rising up. All of the things happening in the same degree. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulder, but instead pushing the floor away from you. And then keep the leg up and put the hand down. We're going to bend the right knee into the belly and then lift it out wide to the side. You'll feel a little bit of heat in that glute. Then try straightening the leg just for a moment. Yeah, you got it. And then put it down out there on the side. We'll walk the hands back and come to standing. Gate pose. Inhale, the arms reach. The arms are going to come out like a T. And then we take that yummy stretch over to the right. Drop the right hand down, lift the left one up. That way. Yep. Right arm down, left arm up. Make it yummy. If you're having any pressure in your left knee, push more on the top of your foot and then more into the ankle and take the pressure off your kneecap. Keep that midline energy. Keep lifting from the pelvic floor. Return to center. And then we take it to the other side. Left hand down to the ground. It might be wet. It's okay. Just try to put it somewhere that you can keep it steady. And then we start lifting that right arm, lifting that right leg. Find balance. Find the integration. Try not to let your booty or your ribs stick out, but streamline. And then you have the option to take the bicep over the ear. That's it. Reach like you mean it. Push out through that right heel, reach through your right fingers. And then the arm comes up. The foot comes down. Strong core, rise back to center. Inhale, reach your arms. Then exhale, return the hands to your mat. We're going to lift that right leg, bend the knee, and then pull it back in. Yes. Sit back into child's pose. Let it be a resting moment. Take one more breath. And then find your way into downward facing dog. That's it. We're going to come through one last vinyasa. Come forward into plank pose. Let's all take a breath here. And as we exhale, lower down nice and slow. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. And then right back into your last downward facing dog of the morning. Enjoy it, feel it, integrate it, feel all the balance of the work, and then bring yourself to a seated position. Sit comfortably, sit well. What does that mean to you? Sit well. Notice if your body is actually more comfortable sitting than normal. That's it. You can rest your hands on your knees, or even put your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly. Just take a moment. Just meet yourself exactly where you are. After all the movement, here's an opportunity for you to be in relationship with the stillness. Can you hold your head up? Can you become aware of the integrations? Your feet can still gently push down and out. Your heart lifts, and there's a little bit of support from that pelvic floor. These are acts of consciousness, not effort. Start to release your obsession with your physical form and put all of your attention onto your breath. Can you feel breath in the back body? That's where our conversation began today. Most of the lung tissue is in the back. Can you feel that part of you breathing? Just 3 more breaths. Can you have the discipline to be in those breaths fully with everything that you are. As you complete the third and final breath, you can keep your eyes closed if you feel comfortable like that. Just go ahead and unfold your legs straight out in front of you. Release some energy from the back of the knees. Let the legs relax for a moment. Take a deep breath. Arms go up. Exhale. Round softly forward onto your own legs. You don't have to grab your toes. You don't have to grab your ankles or your shins. You just round forward and soften. We're not going to stay long. Let the head hang for a moment. Gently turn it to one side and then the other, just loosening up any of that tension that might still be living in there. And then pull your belly in and rise back up to seated. Please bend your knees, put your feet flat on the mat. Take your hands back behind you. Fingers point toward your own hips or slightly out to the edges of the mat. We come into reverse tabletop. So you're going to push down to rise up. Take a look at your hips. Don't let the head drop back, not quite yet. Look at your hips. Can you make the hips rise more? When you look at them, sometimes you can actually get them to cooperate a little more. Hands are pushing down, feet are pushing down. Hamstrings are squeezing, glutes are really toned here. Lift the center, the heaviest part. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Come on, pick it up. Open up the front of those hips, lengthen the front body. Now drop the head back if it feels good. One breath, and then gently draw the chin back to the chest and lower yourself down. Good. Keep your knees bent, but keep your back round and lay yourself down nice and slow. So a rounded back, kind of a rag doll. We take it down. Feel how nice it feels once everything is on the floor. Let the head down. Let's put the soles of our feet together. Let the knees drop open. Got it. Take your arms up overhead. Let them come to rest. Breathing. Again, more attention to the breath, less to the body. Yoga teaches us that we need to understand the parts so that we really have a better and deeper understanding of the whole. And so we kind of dissect everything. We look at everything and its function and its purpose, and then we watch how all of the elements of our humanness work together. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We are not just our bodies. We are not just our breath. We are not just the thoughts that ramble around in our heads. We are the sum of all of it. Let's go ahead and bring our arms out like a T. Draw the knees back up and into the center. And then lift your knees up toward the chest and we'll roll over into a spinal twist to the right. Knees and hips go right, arms stay open wide, look to the left. Again, keep it simple so it's not really about the body. We're letting the tension of the body go. We're softening so that we're not holding it. The muscular energy we were using throughout the practice in some ways creates tension. 50 minutes of holding muscular energy is rewarded by the relaxation at the end. So if our muscles get charged up and we actually get to dislodge some of the tension that's been living deep inside the body, it's right now in the softness that it's going to let go. Your willingness to unclench and ungrip is actually how the tension understands that it can leave. Some of us are attached to the tension, and we grip and hold it tight like it's our friend. And it's not really, it's just familiar. Let's come up and over to the other side. See if you can soften. What does that feel like to let go a little bit? To not do it perfectly. Just to be in the shape and to let the breath be the priority. Let's bring it back to the center. Pull the knees in, give yourself one more squeeze. And then just let your legs go. Take them all the way down, stretch them out long on the mat. Release your arms. And come into the fullness of your relaxation. We'll start our awakening with little movements. Maybe a little deeper breath, and eventually you stretch and move enough to bring yourself into a seated position. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. So right now, in a really soft and subtle way, can you bring the integrations into this simple seated position? Can you feel your feet kind of push down and out? Your hands, your heart kind of lift, like your arms squeeze in a little bit. It just means the shoulder blades are going to draw back slightly. And you might lift a little in the pelvic floor. Those are 3 simple things that you have to remember. Like, it's not so hard to do them, right? It's consciousness over effort. So in an hour from now, could you just remind yourself, oh, I'm going to like push down and I'm going to rise up and I'm going to feel my inner body kind of pull in and up. As an energy being, those things will help you sustain and uplift your energy throughout the day. Without those movements, we feel drained by the end of the day. We feel heavy, right? So these simple things, pushing down to rise up, feeling a little support from inside, 2 hours from now, 5 hours from now, check in. There's something really amazing about bringing your yoga off the mat. If I could give anything, forget that I come and do the practice. Like, if I could give you something, it would be to remember what you do here when you're not here. That would be meaningful. Let's put our hands together at the heart. We'll close our practice with the beautiful and sacred sound of Om. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom. May we all know peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste. Have a beautiful Saturday, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for coming out. Oh, yeah, thank you for coming out. Use your yoga outside of this space. Couple things, little announcements. Sign-in sheets are here at the front. I have magnets for you if you want them. You can add yourself to my email list if you're not getting notifications from me or from Yoga Journey. I'd love to stay in touch. Tomorrow morning, 8:30, I'll be teaching another outdoor practice at the farmer's table, poolside. You can register for that on my website, yogajourney.com. So feel free to join me tomorrow morning. And we have a special event tomorrow afternoon in the studio. It's yoga nidra and aromatherapy. So it's yoga sleep. It's actually learning how to ride the threshold between awakeness and sleep, right there on that threshold of really sort of holding that space right before you slip away. It's a beautiful skill to have. It's really healing and nourishing for the body, and that workshop will be infused with some essential oils as well. So aromatherapy and nidra tomorrow afternoon at 4 at the studio. I could use a hand with the tables and chairs. If anybody has an extra minute and is willing to use their muscles, we have to put all the chairs back. Something big, registration is open. We're almost full for sponsors and vendors. If anyone's interested in supporting the event and being a part of the event, go to somethingbigyoga.com. January 1st, the biggest yoga party. Yeah, New Year's Day in the Meisner Park Amphitheater. So registration is open, and the back end stuff is all really coming together. I spoke to Drez yesterday. He's coming. Yeah, it's going to be great. So come sign up, come see me. If you would like a magnet, let me know. I'll be happy to share. Thank you. Hi there. Yes, of course you can have a magnet. Tell mommy to put it on the car. Hi. Sign-in sheet. Thank you. Hello there. A magnet, yes. Stuck together. There you go. I think that's 2.
No, 2 is too much.
Yeah.
1 is good.
1 is good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cherie Grace.
Hi.
Hi.